Hey babies, welcome back to my channel. Y'all know, coming at you guys with another video from MYFIRSTWIGs. You guys know this is one of my favorite hair companies. They literally give you everything you will need start to finish with your wig journey. Of course, you can apply their units glueless, with glue, without glue. They give you an edge brush, edge control, wig tamer. Your wig actually comes in this really pretty bag that is easy to store. It gives you all the details, so before even having to cut the lace, you can ensure that they sent you exactly what it is that you purchased. This unit is actually, of course, a Yaki texture. I believe it's a 20-inch. Of course, all the details will be listed in my description box. The lace on this unit is transparent, which y'all know I love because it literally melts into the skin. It does come with an adjustable band, an elastic wig cap, of course, which is stretchable, adjustable as well, and then, of course, wig combs. But y'all know I always like to turn it up just a teensy tiny bit, so I did go ahead and wash and condition the hair. The knots already came pre-bleached. It was already pre-plucked, as you guys can see. So if you're a beginner, you can literally just jump right into this and start styling it on your head. But for me, of course, you kind of want to take it up a step. So I'm going to go ahead and actually do a little bit of tweezing to the part area just to customize it a little bit more, because I definitely like for my units to have more of a seamless blend. I don't really care for thicker hairlines. To me, it was not overly thick. It was definitely manageable, as you guys can see, but I just really wanted to kind of blend to literally look like it's growing out of my scalp. And as you guys can see, with a transparent lace, even putting this on the wig cap, or not wig cap, but the wig head, already it's literally blending. So I'm just like, this was so exciting. You guys know I always take my Cream of Nature mousse when I'm plucking out my closures. If you guys are new here, welcome. Now's a good time to go ahead and subscribe. But if you guys have already seen some of my lace videos, you guys know the Cream of Nature does not get sticky, tacky, or anything like that. It literally allows for you to see your work, see exactly what it is that you're doing, continue to kind of pluck out without having to oversaturate the hair with water, which is a bit more wet, which obviously you'll have to go back with like a blow dryer and kind of get that together. I do eventually do that because the hair was still damp while I was tweezing it out, but that is that on that. So I put a little bit of makeup on, of course, to give you a final look. I went ahead and adjusted the band onto the second strap because this cap actually fit really snug. So you guys already can see I have my cornrows in. My hair is fully moisturized. I do have a link to or a video where I show you how to kind of set your foundation to avoid shedding, breakage, all that crazy stuff that happens with protective styling. So yeah, if you need to see that, see how I do the cornrows and what that braid patterning look like, definitely make sure to check out that video. Once you get the unit on, of course, just because you set that part on the wig cap, or on the wig head I should say, doesn't necessarily mean it's right. Like, let's just be honest, there's a lot of times that y'all walk around here with crooked wigs, so make sure that you set the part correctly while it's on your head. Go ahead and cut off any additional lace. Typically when I'm installing a wig for the first time, I like to utilize the lace that is in the front area of the wig, just because it helps me pull everything really tight and lay it extremely flat. But I like to cut off the extra lace around the ears just to make sure that everything fits properly. And yeah, typically I'm about 11 inches, maybe 11 to 11 inches across the front of my hairline. So if you guys need that for reference in terms of like cap size and things like that, definitely make sure to check it out. Like I said, it's adjustable regardless, so in my opinion it will fit even the smallest forehead. And of course, for the actual cap size, I have it on like literally the tightest band for the actual cap, and then for the elastic part of the adjustable band, which kind of acts as like a bra strap, I actually have that on the second band. So I go ahead and pretty much just cut the lace into two parts so that I can really get a good grip onto the lace. I take my Gotta Be Glue spray to go ahead and lay the foundation. At first I was not going to apply any glue. I was going to do this completely with the Gotta Be Glue spray, and then I realized, let's actually lay this down. Like, I was going to be going out. This was for New Year's. I didn't want to be sweating and all that stuff, and then my wig sliding back. So I wanted to make sure that I was super secure. I did not apply a wig cap, which of course they do have one inside of the packaging, but I didn't want to use it just because I didn't want to go through the process of having to put all of that Gotta Be Glue spray, which has a ton of alcohol, to adhere that to my own head and hairline area. I didn't want to do it just because I did experience breakage from the alcohol before. So you want to be really careful with those caps because it can get a little counterproductive. So for me, when you do have a really nice unit, go ahead and set the part. You guys know my cornrows were already set, so I have that middle part going. And so because I knew that I was not going to be parting this unit all over the place, I had no need for me to give the illusion of like a faux scalp. I mean, the unit was literally laid to a T. I put the glue a little bit in front of my hairline. As you guys can see, you want to wait until that glue gets a little bit on the clear side. I'm adding some more Gotta Be Glue spray over the top of my hair just to gently give it something to hold on to. But I didn't want to use the combination, like I said before, of the cap, because y'all, it literally dries out your hair. The cap is already dry, and then that friction rubbing with the Gotta Be Glue spray, it definitely turned it up a notch. You will see that when I do these installs on clients, eventually you'll see, I'll start to kind of put that on my channel, but you guys will see how much moisture and hydration I provide when I'm using that method, because it's really serious. You really want to make sure that you're using braids and just doing this, I guess, step-by-step process to a T, because you don't want to result in hair loss, which, like I said, is counterproductive to what we're doing. So of course, once the glue is kind of tacky, I went ahead and pulled the lace over the glue. I did it a little bit in front of where that glue stops, just so that I can make sure that everything is laid properly. I went back through with my blow dryer just to kind of set everything in place, and you guys can see already the plucking looks really good. I went ahead and did that on both sides. I'm applying a little bit of the mousse here just for a little extra shine and to also be able to help with the styling process. This is where I reset my part straight down the middle. And for me, I like to do this. I know that some people will go through and kind of tweeze out the part. To me, there's no need for that, especially if you're going to eventually wear this in like a side part, half up, half down. The worst thing that you can do is pluck out your part, and then it eventually starts to spread. It starts to look bald, and it's just not conducive. Unless you know that you're going to be wearing the style in that specific way, I don't recommend plucking or tweezing out the part, especially if there's no need to do it. Typically, hair is not overly dense, so there's no need to have a field goal going down the middle of your head, okay? Is it even called a field goal, y'all? I don't know about football, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, what I did go ahead and do from here, of course, is tie down the front of my hair, because I wanted to make sure that everything was really going to be laid, slayed, and all that good stuff while I go through and blow dry the hair. So I did, of course, like I said, wash and condition the unit when I got it. Did that lightly tweezing method that I showed you guys earlier, and so the hair was still kind of damped. You could obviously let this sit overnight and allow it to air dry, but I really wanted to go ahead and get this video out for you guys, and also I needed to get ready for New Year's. So I did go ahead and just lightly go through with my blow dryer. I'm using the Chi blow dryer. I actually got this from either TJ Maxx or Marshall's. It was on sale for about $59. So yeah, it works like a dream, y'all. And as you guys can see, once you take that the cap off, or not the cap, y'all, the edge, what is it called? Why can't I think? Is it the edge? I don't freaking know. The scarf, right, that I'm using for my edges. Everything should be laying flat. I should have left it on there a little bit longer so that the mousse could have dried up a little bit more, but nevertheless, we were all good. I went through with my little hot comb, which of course is found in any local beauty supply store. You can use the one that comes like with the electric cable, just to go ahead and pull it or plug it in, as opposed to having to put it on the stove. Like, I think that's a little old school, but to each his own, whatever feels comfortable with you. And then go ahead and slowly remove the lace. And because it's transparent lace, y'all don't have to get super fancy with trying to cut it zigzag and all this extra stuff. Like, if it's transparent, you're not gonna be able to see it, and that's just what it is. So as you guys can see, I was super happy with this. Y'all know I'm a fan of the baby hair, the adult hair. We're gonna break off the hairs. This is what we're doing. So I go ahead and take out a couple of hairs here around the perimeter, take a little bit of that edge control that came with the unit, and I'm literally just slicking the hair down. When I tell you guys, this hair literally acted like natural hair. I absolutely loved it. It reminds me of like probably when you get a relaxer I don't know if you guys remember, but just that, something about that Texlax hair, it really provides a lot of like texture, but it's super straight. So I don't know how to explain that. It's not overly silky. It's not overly shiny. It literally looks like a blowout to maybe some type 4 hair. And I was absolutely loving that because, you know, sometimes you just want to look like yourself. You know, I'm saying this with wearing a wig, but if you get what I mean, comment down below. And sometimes when you get those kinky straight units, it still has like that wave pattern in it that you can never really get straight. But with this Yaki texture, it still provided a natural look without looking kind of like, something's off about that hair. So yeah, so I appreciated that. And as you guys can see, I'm just going through and kind of using the edge control to lay down the hair, and then I go ahead and trim it off. Take a little bit of gel to really just kind of tack everything down in place. And y'all, we are pretty much all set. So I go through with a blow dryer just to really make sure that everything is nice, dry. We don't have any parts lifting up. And the hair was not shedding throughout this process. So I am going to actually do some layers and kind of lightly cut those into the hair. So we're going to get into that, of course. But I went through with my foundation color just to kind of brighten up the part because I felt like it wasn't doing justice. Although my middle part was peeking through, I really wanted to kind of pop it out. So don't use a concealer that's lighter than your skin complexion. Use a foundation if you are going to be putting any type of powders or colors into your lace. Okay, and so I am just going to go ahead and in a diagonal motion to lightly cut layers. This is not a how to layer your hair tutorial at all, but this is pretty much what I did just to add a little bit more I guess dimension to the hair because it was just kind of straight and kind of boring. So I wanted to add a little layer so that I can eventually curl it up really tight. I think in this video I did do like a nice cute little bump. But yeah, so practice makes perfect. Go ahead and part that hair out from behind your ears and you start there. I usually like to do the layers around my face. If I am cutting layers on a mannequin head or anything like that, a wig head, I will go ahead and do that. Obviously, cutting the layers all the way around, but when I'm doing it on myself, like as is, typically I only do it around my face just to really frame that, especially if I'm not going to be doing like super tight curls, because I don't want the layers to be choppy and I want it to be done right. And the only way to really do that is to not be doing it yourself, especially when the hair is this long. So beware of that. Don't get super duper scissor happy. You want to make sure that you're checking your work consistently. Going slow is going to be the best option. Even if you have a razor comb, I find that those are really helpful, especially if you're not familiar with like the angles and really how to cut, how to do any point cutting or anything like that. If you're not familiar with it, take a razor comb. They're in the beauty supply store, maybe about $2, maybe max. Typically they're green or blue. Yeah, and you're able to literally achieve the same look. So you guys can see how we have nice full layers on this side, and then of course it's a little bit straighter on the other. And then I pretty much did that on both sides, and of course we went ahead and we're just going to take off this the scarf now, and everything is perfect. I literally could have just left the hair alone at this point to, of course, just kind of leave it in the layered form. Still nice, pretty, natural looking, but I went ahead and took my FHI flat iron to go ahead and add a little bit of bump to it. I was getting like 90s vibes. I'm like, ooh, these layers were given, like, for real. So I'm thinking that I'm starting to get into that phase of like, I don't want super long hair. A good 20 inch is okay. Like an 18 to a 20 inch I'm good with. Go ahead and layer it up, and I feel like it's giving me everything I need, especially because I'm 5'2". Like a 22 inch literally comes down to my butt. So I'm like, I don't know that I'm necessarily there anymore. So yeah, the natural looks are definitely kind of coming back around. So if you're gonna do it, make sure that you do it right. And y'all, look at the texture. The hair was super duper soft, easy to curl. These curls lasted all freaking day before doing, I guess, or getting redressed again for New Year's later on that night. I did go ahead and, or New Year's Eve, I guess I should say, I did go ahead and actually add more curls to like the front bang area, but y'all, that was literally it. I didn't have to do much to it at all. I actually ended up leaving the unit in for about a week. The glue did not lift or anything like that. It stayed in place. And obviously, like I said, you don't have to install this with glue. If you're not familiar with it, don't do it. Don't feel like it's something you have to commit to. You can absolutely apply this unit gluelessly. If you want to see a video on that, let me know, because I will not be reselling this unit. I will not be throwing it away and tossing it to the side. This is going to be like a consistent unit that I wear as a protective style. So you guys can see I added a few more layers in the front. And y'all, leave any comments or questions down below, because I was in love. Like, I was in love, and I'm thinking like I should definitely do some half up, half down styles. Probably even do like a side part. So yeah, just let me know how you feel about it. If I can get any coupon codes or anything, I will definitely do that for you guys, because you need this unit. Like, y'all don't even understand. I was so excited. I love my kinky straight units, and typically I end out the year with wearing some type of kinky straight or kinky curly unit. It's been a trend for like the past 3 years. So anyway, without further ado, if you are not already subscribed, make sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up. Of course, make sure that you're following me on Instagram, where you can kind of get more of my everyday life, updates and things like that. I'm now on Clubhouse, so if you are there, definitely make sure to follow me there as well. I love you guys so much. Stay pretty. Leave any comments or questions down below. Of course, check the description box for all the details. And I will see you guys in my next video. Let's get into some curls. Woo! Yes. Bye, babies.